Cześć, witajcie na Board Game Girl w pierwszej części naszej relacji z targów Essen. To już nasze trzecie Essen i nasza trzecia relacja. Jeżeli chcecie, kliknijcie tu lub tu i przeniesiecie się do filmów z poprzednich lat. Jak jest w tym roku? Zaraz się przyjrzymy. Już teraz wiemy, że jest więcej hal, jest aż 6 hal wypełnionych po brzegi grami planszowymi. Jest wielu wydawców z Polski i z różnych zakątków świata, ale to zobaczycie już za chwilę. Przed Wami Bruno Cathala, jeden z najsłynniejszych projektantów, ulubiony projektant m.in. Power Milka, którego serdecznie stąd pozdrawiamy. Hi Bruno!
Hi!
What game did you brought in Essen in this year?
A lot! I have 6 releases on the fair this year. The first one is Pocket Madness, which is just here on the booth. It's a card game in the Cthulhu atmosphere, like Lovecraft, etc. I have a game which is named Kanagawa, which is published by Yellow. There you are painter apprentice taking the lessons of a big master Hokusai. I also have 2 games published by Matago. One is an expansion, a short expansion, a small expansion for Cyclades. And I also have a pure dice game which is named Dice Stars. I have also one game which is named King Domino, published by Blue Orange. So very familiar game with dominoes. You have to become the king of dominoes, building a kingdom with dominoes. and one last one, and not the least one, it's Pantheon, the first expansion for Seven Wonders Duel.
Zobaczcie, jaka przepiękna gra, pełna jednorożców i tęcz, różowości i śliczności. Grę zilustrowała i zaprojektowała Marie Cordeau, którą znamy z Dixita. Chodźcie, porozmawiamy z nią, zobaczmy jak to jest, jak wygląda ta gra i o czym ona jest. Game look absolutely amazing. The graphic design is super. How long do you work at this game?
I think it took about 6 months because there are a lot of components. There was the box, of course, but there is also 50 different cards to illustrate. Yes, and there was also the characters and yes, small component like clouds and everything. But the most long work was to do the cards, these cards.
Przed Wami Michał z firmy Essen Spielwiese. Hi Michał, I heard that you have a new game, Uwego Rosenberga. It looked like a little bit patchwork. Is it something new?
The only similarity with patchwork are the tiles. The tiles look the same like patchwork, but it's a totally different puzzle game.
What is it all about?
It's about gardening, like you can see. You have to be a really good gardener to make your winning points. And you can see here, you don't roll that dice. This die is only to show in which row of the nursery you can take your points and your tiles and puzzle them in.
I heard that here you can play against Uwe Rosenberg.
Yes, every afternoon between 2 and 4, he's here at the booth to play simultaneously against 6 players.
Przed Wami Joaquim Dorca z wydawnictwa Devir. Hi. We love Sherlock and it's amazing game. What do you have in this year in Essen?
Well, our big shot is Barcelona. It's a game that took 3 years to do. 3 years because we wanted to reflect very well the spirit of Barcelona, which is a mix of a lot of culture and people that want to do things, but also quite revolutionary itself. And well, that's what's in the game.
What else do you have?
What else do we have this year? We have Checkpoint Charlie, which is a small game with cards that you have to discover who is the guilty guy when they try the spy that tries to pass through the checkpoint, which is very nice also. And the other thing that we are bringing, well, Holmes that you like, and Chickens and Dragons, which for children it's really, really fantastic.
Lubię te momenty, w których chodzimy w Essen po halach i nagle słyszę gdzieś polski język w tle. Cześć!
Cześć, Michał, jestem z Maginarium.pl.
Przywieźliście mnóstwo geekowych, fajnych gadżetów.
Tak jest, nad tym się zajmuje firma. Jeździmy po Europie i sprzedajemy koszulki, czapki, spódniczki, kubki i tego typu gadżety.
Jak zainteresowanie?
Dobrze. Mamy ciekawe pomysły, oryginalne projekty, więc tym bardziej ludzie milej do nas podchodzą.
Spódniczki, które przed chwilą oglądałam, szyjecie w Polsce.
Tak jest, szyje dla nas koleżanka, są robione, wydrukowane przez nas, robione z naszych projektów.
Super, czyli wszystko jest robione u nas.
Tak, zdecydowanie stawiamy na rzeczy robione w Polsce.
W ubiegłym roku spotkaliśmy Marcina Krupińskiego incognito. W tym roku w koszulce.
Koszulce. No teraz akurat mam koszulkę z planszy, ale tam mam koszulkę Red 7. Jestem z firmy Silver Bullet Solutions. Przygotowaliśmy mobilną wersję Red 7.
Red 7.
Tak, Red 7. Na iOS-a, Androida jest od wczoraj w sklepie do kupienia 2,99. No i w zasadzie implementuje wszystko to, co w Red 7, czyli możemy sobie zagrać ze wszystkimi trybami na punkty, z akcjami. Od 2 do 4 graczy możemy grać też przez internet. Jest samouczek, no po prostu mobilna gra. Ja jestem programistą z zawodu, więc stąd taka moja rola w tym roku.
Błażej Kubacki z wydawnictwa NSKN. Błażeju, co macie fajnego na Essen?
Mamy bardzo dużo fajnych rzeczy na Essen. Jesteśmy teraz na stanowisku NSKN, co znaczy, że tutaj mamy trochę większe gry nasze. I co mamy w tym roku? Przywieźliśmy Heart of the Mist, które widzimy tutaj. I to jest samodzielny dodatek do Mistfalla wydanego w zeszłym roku. Heart of the Mist można połączyć albo można grać oddzielnie. Dla tych, którzy nie znają, jest to w pełni kooperacyjna gra fantasy, niejako karciana. Do tego jeszcze mamy kilka małych dodatków.
Małe pudełeczko.
Tak, małe pudełeczko. Mamy Sand and Snow, czyli to jest taki dodatek, który daje trochę wszystkiego. Trochę przedmiotów, trochę dodatkowych sojuszników i tak dalej.
Właśnie.
Tak, i mamy jeszcze zestaw figurek. Zestaw figurek to jest taki produkt, który można połączyć sobie z Mistfallem, z Heart of the Mists albo z Shadowscape'em. To jest taka mała gra, która wyszła na Kickstarterze razem z Heart of the Mists. Nie sprzedajemy jej na razie, póki co odbierają ją tylko wspierający i przez jakiś czas będzie ona takim absolutnym ekskluzywem. Poza tym mamy, oczywiście poza naszymi klasykami, które tutaj widzimy, poza Exodusem, mamy również In the Name of Odin, czyli grę o wikingach. Sekundę. Oto i ona. In the Name of Odin, czyli w imię Odyna, Eurogra o wikingach, wszystko chodzi tutaj przede wszystkim o tym, żeby pływać w różne miejsca, grabić różnych ludzi, ale przy okazji, żeby rozbudować swoją wioskę, żeby zbudować sobie fajny statek i znaleźć kogoś, kto będzie tymi naszymi wikingami dowodził. Gra autorstwa Krzyśka Zięby, który również jest z nami dzisiaj na stoisku, więc można spotkać się z projektantem gry, można sobie zdobyć tam podpisik, jeśli ktoś ma ochotę. Również oczywiście odbierany jest z Kickstartera. Tutaj za mną jest też taka spora pula tych gier, która trafi do wspierających.
Mówiliśmy o Exodusie, nie powiedzieliśmy jednej bardzo ważnej rzeczy, takiej tajemnej, takiej sekretnej.
Tak, mamy. Tutaj ta sekretna rzecz rzeczywiście za tobą się trochę kryje. Event Horizon to jest nowy dodatek do Exodusa autorstwa Rainera Alforsa, czyli tym razem nie jest to duet Andrzej Nowak-Agnieszka Kopera, tylko mamy dodatkową osobę, która była wielkim fanem Exodusa i postanowiła stworzyć swój własny dodatek do tego. My postanowiliśmy, że ten dodatek wydamy. Jest to dodatek, który wprowadza dużo nowych rzeczy. Chyba największa nowa rzecz, która się w nim pojawia, to gra kooperacyjna. Czyli dla tych, którzy lubią Exodusa, ale może nie zawsze chcą natychmiast się sobie rzucać do gardeł, można zagrać wspólnie przeciwko grze.
Przed wami Danji. Hey, you came from far away. Could you tell us more about your company?
Well, my company is actually the only company from mainland China to publish the Chinese traditional games, and then we want to find more Chinese designers' games onto Essen to show them and let them know words that a lot of Chinese people is actually working in the board game industry. Yeah.
And you have a very nice game here. Could you tell us more?
Yeah, this game is actually named The Legend of Sabao. It's about the story of Zero history. There's a lot of Arabian merchants that are coming into the Chinese land and do business. So this game is actually about how they act in the Chinese land there. So you will have a lot of space here that shows every types of products from China. So the Arabian merchants develop the space to create more products and then ship them to the markets into China, and also the Silk Roads to earn more money from the West. So you can see there's very obvious worker placement games here, and then we have a very interesting sequence about action to beat the borders of the players, and also we have a very colorful map. Then you can see to show a lot of cultures and then productions in China.
Jesteśmy na stoisku wydawnictwa Gen 42. Przed wami Yianni, autor gry Rój. Hey, you have a very new game, this logic game?
That's right, yes. It's a game called Tatsu. It has a dragon theme to it, and it's a Japanese kind of style to it as well.
Okay, could you tell us more about the rules?
Okay, so it's based on backgammon. So anyone who knows backgammon will be quite familiar with the game. It's a two-player game, dice driven. So you roll your dice and you move around. Well, black moves one way and white moves in the other direction. And you have different dragons that have different powers. So you have vine dragons that will hold a piece and entangle it so it can't move. You have water dragons that will send pieces back to your opponent's reserve, and you've got fire dragons that will destroy the piece, and you take the piece is out of the game completely. And the object of the game is to eliminate all your opponent's pieces from the board, so they don't have any pieces remaining on the board or on their mats. Or if you use your fire dragon to destroy just one of all the colours, so all the green, or all the blue, or all the red, then you win the game. So it's quite simple to understand, but there's a lot of strategy.
Jesteśmy na stoisku wydawnictwa Osprey Games, a przed Wami Duncan. Hi Duncan, you have a very nice, heavy game, Agamemnon.
Yeah, Agamemnon is lovely. It's a strange mix of heavy thought, but quite light rules. It's almost an area control game, but each space that you have an option to put one of your pieces in is part of multiple different areas, each of which is controlled in different ways at the end of the game. So you only have two actions available to you on any turn, but each of those actions has such a high number of consequences that it's a lovely little brain-burning puzzle for two players.
Also, the graphic design is very interesting.
The chap who's actually playing it alongside you at the moment is the graphic designer. He's the guy who came up with all of the internal components on it, and it is particularly beautiful. We themed the game based around the Trojan War. So the idea of the game is that you are gods who can kind of subtly influence where people will be to try and make sure the right person is in the right place at the right time, so that either the Greeks or the Trojans will win the war. And at the end of the game, you're trying to take control of these connecting pieces, which are the strings of fate, the strings that tie men together. So whichever player has the most strings of fate at the end of the game is the winner. What we wanted to do is create something that evoked the feeling of that theme. So rather than try and have a piece of artwork which perfectly encapsulated it, we wanted something that had the feeling of something from that era. So the main point of reference we had actually were those old Greek vases. If you know, with the kind of the browns and the oranges and all of the little 2D portraits, and that's what we tried to capture in the design of the components.
Przed Wami Joshua Lobkowicz z wydawnictwa Grey Fox. Hi Joshua. What game do you have in Essen?
So we're debuting London Dread, which is a cooperative Victorian horror game. We've got, Order of the Gilded Compass, which is a re-implementation of Alia Iacta Est with a new theme and some new content, and then we've also released...
Great, I love it, Alia Iacta Est.
Good, you'll like this too. Beautiful art and a bunch more buildings, so a lot more replayability and variability. So we've got that, and then we've also got Seven Ronin, which is a two-player asymmetrical game based loosely on Kurosawa's Seven Samurai.
David Liu, jesteśmy na stoisku wydawnictwa Maoida's Game. Hi, could you tell us about the new game, The Flow of History? It's look very interesting.
Yes, sure. Flow of History is our new game designed by Jesse Lee. He's one of the most famous designers from Taiwan, and this is his new civilization game. It's a card game that you build your nation by buying new cards for the different ages. We have the cards will go from the Stone Age all the way to the Industrial to the Space Age. And this is played by a unique bidding mechanism. You set a price on the cards and maybe someone else will buy it, or maybe you can take it from yourself. And you have different kind of cards. You have to build a balanced nation, and maybe sometimes people will try to attack you, and you also build up your defenses. And also you can try to build wonder cards, and wonder cards will give you a lot of more points at the end of the game. So it's a...
How long did you get to make this game?
Oh, 5 years. 5 years.
Very big and complicated.
Yes, he designed it for a long time. It's actually one of his first designs. It's been a long time designing and playtesting and balancing it. It's gone through a very, very much different versions. The earliest version is almost totally different, and it's very streamlined to this day.
Luigi Cornelia poznaliśmy w ubiegłym roku w Essen. Jeżeli klikniecie tutaj, to przeniesiecie się do recenzji gry Zena, o której wtedy rozmawialiśmy. Hi Luigi.
Hello.
You have two new games in Essen in this year.
Yes, we kind of liked to try to make games, and so this year we're presenting 2 new projects, and one is called Growerz, and one is called My Brother. They are very, very different from one from the other, but they, they both are our Demola, let's say, challenges for this year.
Okay, could you tell us a few words about Growerz?
Yes, Growerz, the card game, is obviously a card game, and it touches the theme of cannabis cultivation and cannabis, of course, legalization. We want with this game to touch a topic which is the question which kind of legalization models we can structure, we can plan which kind of social changes we have to organize to build an alternative to the present situation, which we believe in Italy is very, very bad. Like there is a lot of criminality, a lot of social issues, a lot of costs for the state. So we say, if you could grow your couple of plants and without disturbing anybody, it's gonna be the perfect system. In Growerz, you decide which kind of character to be. So you can be the hippie, or you can be the artist, or you can be the chemist, and so on. And each characters, like here we see the sportman has a personal goal. So the game is growing your plants, but not as much as you can. You have to respect a personal goal. You play with 4 seasons, so it's like winter, spring, and so on. And you have 3 values to match: the quantity, the quality, and the effort that you put in growing your plants. If you respect these 3 values, you score points.
Okay, and My Brothers, and this is My Brother. This is a very amazing game. The graphic design is amazing.
Well, we work with graphic designers that, have talent. The point for our game publishers, Demola, is to make games that contain a social message, that contain a social work under it. Yeah. With Growerz, we run social research. We did the same with My Brother. We touch here a complete different topic. So we are not speaking about cannabis, not at all. We are speaking about special needs. And this is a family game. Yes, graphics are very nice. Basically, the game is about keeping the stress under control. This is a game that every family could play, because in any family there is discussion, and sometimes tensions and so on. The game is about keeping the stress under control by playing actions, and these actions are nice because what I play can influence the other stress. So if I decide not to cook, for instance, and I'm the mom, your stress might raise, and so on, and we see how we influence each other. It's a cooperative game you play all together.
Przed Wami Zoldan z wydawnictwa Mind Fitness Game. Hi Zoldan. What kind of the game did you bring in this?
For this year we brought 2 new games from Mind Fitness Games. One of them is Sponsio, the other one is Vikingdoms. Sponsio is a card game for 3 and 4 players. It's about, it's more exactly an exact prediction card game where you make bets and combine them with other actions in order to make the best, highest score for a trick-taking phase. And then there will be the scoring phase, and it's more or less, how should I say this? This is more of a family strategy game when it's played with 4 players. With 3 players, it's more of a competitive strategy game. And we have also Vikingdoms, which is a tile collecting game. This is played in 2 phases. One of them is the recruitment phase, where we play on a board, placing Vikings on the board. And
this is a game only for 2?
Yes, this is only a 2-player game. And after No, I'm sorry. After we placed the tiles on the, the Vikings on the board, if we form a raiding troop, with the raiding troop we raid the islands. There will be 5 islands in the game, each consisting of 2 tiles. And each player will be taking 1, which we will insert into our territory. And the player who has 3 identical settlements or 16 coins wins the game. So both games are fairly easy to learn. They are very hard to master, quite complex, but they are fun games.
A to już stoisko wydawnictwa Czech Games Edition i przed Wami Filip Neduk, autor gry Adrenalin, gry opartej na grze komputerowej. Hi Filip. Hi. Your game is amazing, Jacobs told me, and this game is based on a computer game, yeah?
It's based mostly on the computer genre. It's the old school arena shooter games. Yeah, like Quake, Unreal Tournament, Doom and stuff like that.
It was difficult to make a board game based on computer game.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was difficult to make a Euro-style game because most of these games are associated with dice and luck, and to make the game that doesn't use that much, that was the difficult part.
Przed Wami Pierre Yves, jesteśmy na stoisku wydawnictwa Helvetia. Hi Pierre. Are board games popular in Switzerland?
Yes, I think so. I hope so. Yes, I think like in every country, the game is something social, you know. The people are very happy to be together and to make something together, to speak together. And in French, you know, we don't say board game, we say social game. And so I mean the social part is very important for Swiss people.
Yes. And could you tell us more about Sabbat Magica?
Yes, Sabbat Magica is the 4th game of Helvetia Games. We try to develop a part of Switzerland in each game that we made. And in Sabbat Magica you are playing some magician and you make a... How do you say? Un concours. You know, you must... you are 4 magicians and you try to know which is the best one. And so you try to take resources. And you have some spirits that are helping you, 7 pro player, and you try with this spirit to go in the world of Helvetia to frighten the people.
What kind of mechanism we can find in this game?
So it's a European American trash game. The principal mechanic is worker placement, but you have a very original sort of fighting that you can make to change the game. So it's a worker placement with fight.
A teraz jesteśmy już na stoisku greckiego wydawnictwa Artipia Games. Przed Wami autor gry Fields of Green, Evangelis. Hi, could you tell us a few words different between Fields of Green and Among the Stars?
Hello. Fields of Green is based on Among the Stars, but it's not just a retheme. We built upon the basic mechanisms. We took the basic mechanisms and we built on top of that. So So the key differences are that we have added another type of abilities called harvest abilities, which are activated at the end of every round. So now you not only care about what you play it's moment, but you need to make sure that at the end of every round you have enough resources to pay for those abilities. So the game suddenly became a resource management game where you need to take care of your resources and make sure that you're not left without enough to cover your needs. We also added another type of resource. We don't have just money and the equivalent of energy. We added also food. And the other big difference is that instead of having a single deck of cards from which the players draft, we now have 4 separate piles. And the players can choose from where they will pick cards, from where they will draft. So you start with 6 cards every round, but you get to choose, oh, I want 3 fields, I want 1 livestock, 1 construction, 1 building, depending on your needs. The game is now an engine building game. You have to make sure that you have water to water your plants, they give you food, you give that food to animals, they give you money, you turn that money to victory points. So you have to make sure that your engine is working, and being able to draft and pick up cards according to what you need is very important.
Okay, and what's hidden in this little box that we see here?
Yes. For Fields of Green, we ran a Kickstarter campaign during the summer, which went very well. And every additional material that was generated through that campaign, we've put it inside a box so that people that weren't able to participate in the campaign can now find it and buy it and get that content.
Okay, and I know that you have a game with clowns, yeah?
Yes, it's called Clown Standoff. This is not actually one of my games, but it's from Martipia Games, and it's a game where the clowns, the show of the clowns has gone very bad, and they're trying to settle their difference by throwing pies to each other, and the one who stays the cleanest wins the argument. So the aim in the game is to make sure that you don't get hit by a pie. So it's in essence it's a Russian roulette kind of game. You start with trick taking in order to gather some cards, and you use that cards in order to affect the Russian roulette that you play with these cards. You have 6 cards, one of them hits you, the other 5 dodge, you don't get hit, and you shuffle the deck and you reveal a card. So the players do that in order, and the cards you have gathered in the trick-taking phase help you manipulate this deck of cards.
Przed Wami Maria, jesteśmy na stoisku wydawnictwa Hobby World, największego dystrybutora i największego wydawnictwa gier w Rosji. You have a Masters of Orion, the game that we all waiting for.
I hope so. I really hope that everybody waiting for this game. We tried our best to do it. Very cool, awesome game. Everybody could enjoy, and I think we succeeded it.
Okay, so this game for board gamer or for families?
It's more like a game for board gamer, but it's not too complicated. So I think a family could enjoy it too, but more board game.
Okay, could you tell us more about the rules?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't give you a full rules overview right now, but just a picture with not so much details. So each player plays his own race and tries to develop it further by playing different cars with buildings or spaceships, and taking action each turn. It brings civilization further for I wouldn't say domination, but success and flourishing. There's few type of cards in this game. As I said, ships, because building spaceship fleet was a big part of Master of Orion computer game. Buildings and advisors who can help you develop its civilization further.
Jesteśmy na stoisku wydawnictwa Cube. Przed Wami Marcin Danysz i jego pierwsza gra i jego pierwsza wizyta na Essen.
Tak, pierwszy raz jestem na Essen, pierwszą grą, którą zaprojektowałem. Z tego co na razie widzę, gra sprzedaje się dobrze, zainteresowanie jest dość duże.
Ja tylko dodam, że połowa tego, co zostało przywiezione już została sprzedana, a jesteśmy na początku pierwszego dnia.
Tak, także ludziom się podoba, gra jest dosyć oryginalna.
Opowiedz pokrótce.
Jasne. W grze gracze wcielają się w mikroby pozaziemskie, które przyleciały na Ziemię w meteorycie i rozbiły się gdzieś na Antarktydzie. Powstała placówka badawcza amerykańska, która od razu wyczuła temat i zbudowali takie laboratorium w pobliżu, żeby te mikroby badać, co to w ogóle przyleciało. I okazuje się, że oczywiście nie wszystko poszło tak, jak miało pójść. Placówka, mikroby się wydostają, wiele ludzi ginie. Ostatni człowiek, który przeżywa z desperacji, postanawia wysadzić całą stację w powietrze i w tym momencie zaczyna się gra. Ten człowiek oczywiście też umiera, natomiast my wcielamy się w te mikroby. Każdy mikrob to jest gracz, który ma akcje takie jak wszyscy inni i swoje akcje wyspecjalizowane, które pozwalają mu na robienie bardzo oryginalnych ruchów. Mamy planszę, która jest modularna, można ją budować na różne sposoby. Mamy mikroby, które poprzez manipulację genami potrafią dostosowywać się do warunków, które w danej chwili panują i walczą o dominację na tej stacji. Tak naprawdę mamy ograniczony czas, bo zgodnie z klimatem są to 4 sekundy, tak naprawdę to wszystko dzieje się bardzo szybko, natomiast w grze są to 4 rundy, podczas których gracze starają się najbardziej zdominować ten region laboratorium. Ten, któremu się to uda najlepiej, uznaje się, że on się wydostał z tego laboratorium przed tym wysadzeniem i wygrywa grę.
Dziękujemy, że byliście z nami, że obejrzeliście cały ten odcinek. Zapraszamy serdecznie jutro. Jutro kolejna część. Naszym zadaniem jest pokazanie Wam wszystkiego, co tutaj jest na tych targach. Jest to zadanie bardzo trudne, ale myślę, że wykonalne. Do zobaczenia jutro.